Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Colby.
Welcome to Old School Movie Reviews, where we tell you about the movies without spoiling the movies. Before we continue talking about this movie, I need to let you know that this is technically a sequel. And that being said, this is probably the only time where I would not recommend watching the original movie before the sequels. But consider this a fair warning that there may be some spoilers for the ultra low budget Spanish language movie El Mariachi.
So what's Desperado about?
To avenge the death of his girlfriend, a badass mariachi player hunts down the evil drug gang responsible for her death
And forces them to face the music.
Desperado is a 1995 action movie directed by Robert Rodriguez. As I mentioned earlier, this movie is actually the second movie in a trilogy, the first being El Mariachi, and the third being Once Upon a Time in Mexico. If you fall in love with this movie, and the third in the series, you may want to check out El Mariachi to complete the story, but it's definitely not a requirement, as even the flashbacks to the original movie have been reshot with the new actors and actresses.
Desperado was released on August 25th, 1995, and took the second spot behind Mortal Kombat, which was in its second weekend. It made $58 million in 18 weeks at the box office on a small budget of $7 million.
This was actually only the third movie that Robert Rodriguez directed, with El Mariachi being his first, and a made-for-TV movie called Road Racers being his second. This was, however, his first multi-million-dollar budget to work with, and I think he did a good job with it. It stars Antonio Banderas in the title role of El Mariachi. At the time, he would have been known most for his roles in the movie Philadelphia and Interview with the Vampire.
Salma Hayek plays Carolina in her American breakout role. She previously worked with Robert Rodriguez on the film Road Racers and starred in the Mexican drama Miracle Alley, a film that was the subject of critical acclaim, winning more awards than any other movie in the history of Mexican cinema.
Quentin Tarantino also has a minor role as the pickup guy, but it's easy to see why he and Robert Rodriguez have done so many movies together. Their styles are so similar, and I think they're both great directors. This movie is definitely not family friendly. It's rated R using the American rating system, mainly for violence and adult language that are both prevalent, but there are also some scenes that you probably don't want to watch with your parents in the room.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty desperado to watch this movie.
And on that note, let's watch the movie.
This will just take a minute.
So that was Desperado. What did you think?
I love the fun, over-the-top, cheesy action, and it fits perfectly into the Spy Kids universe.
The what?
Spy Kids universe, because Robert Rodriguez directed and wrote both, and Danny Trejo plays pretty much the same character in both, and it's a whole cinematic universe.
Does that have like Machete and those ones in it
Yeah.
too? That's awesome.
It's all canon.
I don't really want to see that crossover. This is not a kids movie.
It was pretty violent, but that violence was very pretty.
It was. It was shot very well. Robert Rodriguez did a really good job at showing you everything you wanted to see.
All the kabooms, all the explosions that the cool actors don't look at.
So it sounds like we agree. This movie looks marvelous.
Yeah, but the plot seemed a little thin to me at points. There were some things that seemed to be added just as filler between action scenes.
Yeah, I get that. I think there were some plot points that really didn't go anywhere too. I think there may have been explained more in some of the previous movies, El Mariachi, but I'm not really sure. Not that it really hurt the movie.
But you said I didn't need to watch that.
Yeah, I don't think it adds a whole lot. There's a few minor points that don't go anywhere, but nothing that really hurts the movie or makes you miss out. One of the flaws I found in this movie was some of the acting done by the henchmen. Wasn't the greatest acting, especially compared to the leads.
Yeah, those leads though. Antonio Banderas and Salma Hayek blew it out of the water. The passion, angst, and anger.
And don't you dare forget the sex appeal they both ooze. One of the things I think this movie got right is the humor. It's very hard to have the right amount of humor, but also the right type of humor and the right timing in a non-comedy movie. And Robert Rodriguez got it right.
The jokes in these movies are actually pretty good. I've definitely heard you tell a few of them before you actually made me watch this movie.
That's one of my favorite jokes. I tell it often. And in my opinion, it's a really good movie, too. It's a pretty straightforward action movie, but it gets the action right. And if you enjoy action movies, give this one a chance. I don't think you'll be let down. I personally would give it about a 9 out of 10 on the action scale. So if you've seen this movie and you're looking for something similar, definitely check out the sequel, Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
So that was Desperado. Thanks for watching. We are a new channel trying to grow, so if you enjoyed what you saw, please do it. So that was Desperado. Thanks so much for watching. We're a new channel trying to grow, and if you enjoy it, please do all the things that everyone else tells you to do. The like, follow, subscribe. But if you do end up watching the movie, please leave a comment and tell us what you think about it.
And consider watching one of our other movies. If this movie gets 100 likes, we'll send one of the movies from the shelf to one of the commenters. Not going to guarantee it's going to be this movie. Not going to guarantee that it's going to be a movie. Inside the case.
Just a blank DVD sometimes, maybe.